the Cinema Cult Network. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Haunted.
And we have a very special episode for Halloween as we cover Halloween Kills from 2021. Our first now playing since our last now playing.
Since I guess technically Zack Snyder's Justice League was our last.
That's what I was thinking. I was pretty sure it was. So we just watched this. I saw this a week and a half ago at this point.
Yeah.
You guys saw this together at a drive-in. I saw it at a drive-in, just different times. Mm-hmm. Let's just dive right into it. What'd you guys think of Halloween Kills?
Are you waiting for me?
Yeah, go ahead. You first.
This was a very disappointing movie.
Okay. So let's just go right from the get-go. What would you give this on our Rotten Tomato meter?
It's straight 50 for me.
Okay. Matt, what would you give it?
Man, I gave it I think a 35 or a 40.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I gave it when we walked out of there. I think I'm on it about 65.
Okay.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, currently, you guys want to play the guessing game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know off the top?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember this. Okay, so what do you think Halloween Kills has on Rotten Tomatoes? Haunted, I'll start off with you.
It has a 56%.
Okay. Matt?
45%.
39%.
Okay.
It was at a 70 for a while, and then the day it came out, it dropped tremendously.
Really? You know what I think what ruined all of our viewing experiences? Okay, so let's lay this out. So me and Haunted saw it this past weekend, and we saw it on a triple feature of Halloween Kills, the new Candyman, and Funhouse. And you saw it a weekend before at the drive-in with Halloween 2018 and then Halloween Kills. I think what ruined this movie was the fact that you watched Halloween 2018 before you watched this, and we watched Candyman after watching Halloween Kills. And Candyman and Halloween 2018 are really, really good movies, and it just made Halloween Kills look really bad.
Can I spoil something for you?
Go ahead.
I just watched 2018 a few weeks ago, and it wouldn't even matter.
Oh, you don't like 2018?
No, I'm just saying it wouldn't have mattered
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, you're just saying.
What
in
I'm
general,
saying is we watched a really good movie right next to this movie.
I gotcha.
And it made it look even worse.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying you hadn't watched 2018.
Yeah.
Therefore, going into Kills without having seen 18 was why it was so.
Yeah,
low.
I just think because when I got done watching Halloween Kills, because it was the first of the triple feature we went to.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of bad press about it. I was like, it was okay.
Yeah.
And then we watched Candyman after, and I was like, oh man, Candyman made that movie look bad, really bad.
I think if 2018,
was awesome.
watching 2018 beforehand definitely hurt it. I think, so I'll start off. I think this movie would be okay. It is okay if Halloween 2018 didn't exist, but the bar got raised so high.
Yes.
And when you're so high and then you come down to this movie, you're like, oh man, you brought it back. It's very similar to H2O bringing back the franchise and following it with Resurrection.
Yeah.
It's the exact same formula.
Well, and I brought this up that it's very rare when these movies are really good.
Yeah.
So 2018 being good was oh shit, they knocked this one out of the ballpark.
A game changer because the last one we had was it Resurrection?
Yeah,
I guess Rob Zombie.
The remakes. The remakes. Yeah. And and I'm talking about just slasher films in general. So it's they made another Friday 13th and it was bad, and it's I also there's what? That'd be the 14th one?
If they made one more, it'd be the 13th. Yeah.
Or it would be the 13th, right? And it'd be there's plenty of bad ones in there that I still watch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me. So it's the fact that this one's not that great really doesn't bother me.
No.
It's there's other Halloween movies that are worse than this.
This is better than a lot of them.
Yeah.
I would say.
Where would you rank this one? Okay, so I know where mine ranks.
Man.
So if I had to rank them just off the top of my head, because I've watched this series so many damn times. So obviously 1, then 2, then 2018, then 3, then H2O.
Already lost.
And then I think I might put this dead middle.
This is dead middle, I think, for me.
Because it's slightly better. I mean, it is better than 4 and 5.
Yes,
yeah.
That's the gauge for me. That's the threshold is it better or worse than 4 and 5?
That's actually a pretty good threshold to have, I feel because 4 and 5 aren't great, but they're just okay.
It's basically dollar store Michael Myers movies.
Yeah.
where like that mask is looking cheap. That they're not putting any work into it.
Me and Chris were watching Resurrection today. Well, Chris was watching Resurrection, and I came over, and I was like, man, why are you watching this? And we were talking about how, like, why is it so hard for them to get the mask right in some of these Halloween movies?
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be hard, but, like, with 4 and 5 and in Resurrection, like, in H2O is the same way.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did you guys screw up so much on this mask?
To the point where in H2, I think they did CGI mask, I think.
For a second.
For a
it's
second?
like literally for like a second.
It's very weird.
But okay, going to Resurrection, even Resurrection, for as bad as it is, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like my list is starting to flop because, like, I like 4 and 5. I think they're fine. But Resurrection is more entertaining. Like, at least, I mean, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
But I'm not bored. I'm never like, come on. Like, stuff is happening in this movie.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once. It was not good.
It's not good, but it's fun to watch. And even
Resurrection's my worst one. That'd be on my
that might
bottom.
be it
That'd be
for
the
me.
bottom one.
see even over 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I think it's 4 has like one of the coolest openings, and it has like one of the best like Halloween openings in general, where it just really gets the holiday right, and it's like that real like ominous like music being played over like all the images of like decorations and stuff. Real cool opening, and there's some cool stuff going on in 4. Saying that, I haven't got to watch the extended version of 5 that just got dropped by Shout Factory.
Oh wow, there's an extended version of 5.
Not by much. I think there's like there's a new opening, and there's a few other things that make it a little different. But I don't think it's not like Halloween 6 where it's like a producer's cut or anything.
Which is wild. I don't know if you guys ever saw 6.
I came to your guys' place a couple years ago to watch. I think extended of 6. I think. It was when Paul Rudd was playing with his marbles.
Yes.
I think you watched this with Matt, 'cause I watched it by myself, so yeah.
Oh, no, you guys were there because you guys were watching it.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I remember, and I was like, what is this?
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
I've never watched a movie that has been
It was definitely a version I
movie.
had never seen before because I definitely seen that movie a couple of times when I was like younger. But when he like threw out his like magic beanbag or whatever, and it was like doing magic, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it's at the end. There's like a different ending where he's like, he puts down a couple of like jelly beans. And he's like, you're released. I'm like, going to go. That's not what happens, but it sounds great.
I think the problem, honestly, though, with this new one with Halloween Kills,
Mikey
is
like Beanie.
I can tell you exactly what's
Sorry,
going
go
on
ahead.
for me, but you go first.
18's great and it takes it serious, but this one, like, it almost felt like they wrote it because they're in a contract to write up the other two.
Yeah.
That they have to get out of it, and it kind of sucks knowing. I think knowing you're going into this, and this is the second movie, and there's a third one coming along, that this one's. I couldn't help walking away feeling pointless. I was like, what was the point of this?
It was the last Jedi of this franchise.
Oh, okay.
I liked Last Jedi. So.
I know. You're the only person I know who likes Last Jedi.
I like Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through.
I haven't said anything yet.
Then go and say what you're going to say.
I was trying to. Biggest problem with this movie, injected way too much comedy throughout which is like a lot of there was a lot of comedy happening in this movie.
Okay.
Me and Hanta were geeking.
Dude, I was laughing. Yeah,
Really?
we were laughing a lot.
Yeah, the part where they're chasing the other escaped patient
like
to the hospital.
Yeah.
Me and Hanta couldn't stop laughing.
That's
through it.
not funny.
Dude,
I know
because they're
it's
like,
not.
I know it's not, but they kept like showing him, and he'd be like,
There's one.
and he's, like,
Honestly,
turning the
there's
I think
corner.
that was probably one of the best parts of the movie.
No, it's the worst part.
I
of the
think it
movie.
was the worst part of the movie.
There's one specific part where it's like so it's the track on the soundtrack is called Hallway. Was it Hallway Mayhem? Is the name of the track? It's awesome. This track is amazing. But when you intercut it with what's happening on screen, it is the goofiest thing of all time.
I think that was the best part of the movie.
There's one specific part where we were laughing. It's the part where it shows all the mayhem happening, and in the background you see like the patient like.
Yeah, it was comedy. It wasn't.
I think
like
that was the best part of the movie.
I don't think they
That
were
is
trying
so
to be
insane.
serious. I think it was like it's kind of like.
Oh, I don't think it was supposed to be at all, because with the way I saw it, because I do think that was my favorite part of the movie, was them chasing him throughout the hospital. Was if 2018 is so good focusing on like the Me Too movement and representing that, this scene was so good at representing like the witch hunt movement of the whole like guilty until found innocent, the way things are going.
That's how. I mean, that's totally what they're doing.
They just went off on this guy without any evidence. Like, go get him. And like, I thought it was a really good scene. I
They
could
were-
just
they were-
laughed at this.
I get what they were trying to do
Yeah.
with
Okay.
it, which I was getting that kind of vibe too. That I was like, yeah, there's some social commentary that they're playing out
Oh,
here.
absolutely. Yeah, quite literally in the scene.
But it was goofy because it was like doctors and nurses, and they kept yelling like,
I think
"Evil
there's-
dies tonight."
I think there was
and
one.
it was just like, this
I'm
is
so
kind of like
surprised.
borderline like parody.
I think there was one moment in that chase scene where Laurie Strode was yelling like, "You're all sheep" or whatever, and there was like a doctor that like grabbed her, whatever, and
Yeah.
then she ended up like kicking him in the balls. It's like, why are these like these employees like attacking?
Yeah,
Laurie
and that
Strode?
sheriff does like a shit job throughout the
That
entire
guy needs
movie.
to be doing something. In this
Yeah,
next
I thought
movie.
he was gonna be a bigger character.
He's like
but he doesn't do anything the whole movie.
I think his name is
literally.
Creighton Duke in Jason Goes to Hell. It's like that
Yeah.
bounty hunter sheriff guy.
I feel like they're setting him up for something because
They
keep,
have
like,
to.
They have to.
do
Yeah.
something with him. And I heard that this next movie, Halloween Ends, is supposed to take place 4 years after
I saw
this,
that.
which
yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of surprised that they did this so close
Back to
to
back.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of got this vibe when watching the trailer because they're wearing Christmas sweaters. in
yeah.
it
Yeah.
that they get from the hospital in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, oh man, are we gonna get our Christmas Michael Myers movie? And I got really
that would be
excited.
cool.
I was like, dude, Michael Myers in the snow, like,
That'd
and then
be
like
cool.
it's basically like saying like Halloween kind of continues outside of Halloween.
It's like the threat isn't even in the Halloween. It can take place anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Which I thought I was getting kind of giddy for that. I was like, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But they obviously didn't do it. And it just took place. They just basically did Halloween 2 again.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So basically, what I was gonna mention is that this whole witch hunt for this character was basically the Halloween 2 equivalent of Ben Tramer, which is like the saddest scene in Halloween 2, with the love interest or off-screen love interest for Laurie Strode. This guy felt like the Ben Tramer of this movie, where it's like they're going after the wrong guy, and then something terrible happened to him. I was also gonna say like my biggest beef with this is that Jamie Lee Curtis took like a backseat.
She's in it for like 10 minutes.
What the hell?
Disappointing.
Yeah.
That's why I was just like, I'm here to see her because she's like the best part of these movies. Like,
Yeah, it felt characterless. I think that was the thing with the movie. Like I felt like there was no characters I was attached to. Tommy Doyle, Anthony Michael Hall was awesome in it.
Yeah.
I like the boyfriend. I
yeah.
thought it was really
Redeeming.
cool.
Redeeming
Yeah.
factor
Yeah.
for this
Yeah,
guy.
I like that a lot.
I mean, we're gonna spoil this,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
obviously
this is
I'm
a
just
spoiler.
telling people now.
Yeah.
But like, I'm really bummed that Anthony Michael Hall's already out of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they already got rid of him, and I'm like, like he was kind of cool.
yeah.
Will Patton got more of a role.
I'm
They
glad
brought
he's
him
back. I'm glad he's
Yeah,
in it.
he's cool.
Because
Well, not more of a role, but he got
yeah.
extended.
I totally forgot. Like I had to look him up because I didn't know what else he'd been in. I knew I'd seen him and stuff. But Armageddon, I
Yeah.
totally forgot that he was a main character in
The
Armageddon.
Postman. Have you seen The Postman?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's in
I've
The Postman.
heard not to watch the
It's
Postman.
don't watch it.
Really?
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
And then Judy Greer,
Yeah.
who
I like her.
I like her too. I was kind of bummed by her.
Well, let's go through the positive
Yeah.
things because I have some stuff I really want to bring up.
But
And so-
also I'm not like too. That's not
yeah.
I knew-
a bad part of the movie.
I will
Obviously,
say
that's a
I
storytelling
knew
element, but-
something was going to happen to at least one of the three family
Yeah.
members.
Yeah.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk. We'll do a positive, then a negative. We'll jump around. Positives: the first 15 minutes. I love the first 15 minutes.
Is this with the firefighters?
Well, it's the firefighter. It's the firefighter and like the flashback to 78.
I like the 78
Wow.
stuff. Dude, this is nuts.
Did
Wow.
you see the pictures of the transformation of
Yeah.
Loomis?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so neat.
Because the
looking.
guy is not even an actor. I don't think.
He's
Like,
the
was
art
like
director.
art director.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So this just goes to show that you don't need
CGI.
Peter Cushing CGI from like Rogue One.
Dude,
Like,
you just
yeah.
need some
Avoid
good
it.
lighting.
Get a good lighting. Get somebody with similar facial structure.
Shoot it from a distance.
Yep.
Because there was no like up close shots.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looked so
This-
But
good.
even the up close stuff, like the
Yeah.
photos,
Oh, yeah.
that they released, even the up close stuff was like ridiculous.
This
looking. I
was
like, holy shit.
phenomenal on the costume makeup department. This
Yeah.
is like I feel like this is like a huge game changer as
Yeah.
far as makeup goes.
It's very.
I wish though.
impressive.
I gotta say though, I'm a little. I wish there would have been more in '78.
yeah. I actually kind of wish it was like an entirely 78 movie.
Yes, like where they just showed what he did like after. I felt like it was weird because if it's
Yeah.
like how climactic the original is, right?
Yeah.
It ends and he's disappeared and he's gone. And then he just goes straight to his house and they arrest him.
Dude,
Seems kind of like anticlimactic. Like, oh, that's what they just caught him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just snagged him after that.
I think all they needed to do was really like a 78 movie, have it be like a Predator-esque like Halloween with like the elite SWAT team of like Haddonfield going after this guy, and they're just getting picked off one by one. That's like the slasher movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, okay.
I'd be down with that for 70, like in a 70 era, because everything in that scene looked great.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a very great opening. Now, if we're going to talk negatives, I feel like not a lot happens in this movie because it's basically, it's what they did in the older movies that they messed up on is it's Michael going from house to house just killing people that I don't know who they are, and it's just like, kill these people, move on, kill these people. And it's not like progressing the story whatsoever.
Yeah.
I did not like that at all. Like
The
it
whole
felt-
like
I don't know.
I guess the whole twist is that the Little John, Big John were the new owners of like the Myers house.
Yeah.
So why did he kill the one couple, like the older couple?
I think it's just to be like he's not your 78 Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it
he's
wasn't
using light bulbs
It
now.
wasn't necessary. Yeah, and even though the light bulb thing was like insane.
Dude, the violence is so gruesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I didn't know what was going on sometimes though. Like when the boyfriend got killed in the
Yeah.
staircase, I asked Honto, I was like, "How is he? What's
I
going
didn't
on?"
understand
So-
it either, and I think that has to do with being at the drive-in.
I
in
think it was too,
general.
Yeah.
but I could
Yeah.
only imagine with him breaking the wood, it's like basically
Impaling
he was
him.
impaling his neck several times.
That's
on the,
what I thought.
I
would
thought
happen.
it was
So-
weird. It was a really like
Yeah.
positives. Once again, it's a really good looking movie.
yeah.
His mask looks amazing.
That mask
yes.
is awesome.
Yeah, it looks
This is
so
like
good.
this is almost like the Jason Lives, where it's like a complete departure
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the mask like
Yeah.
aesthetic or whatever. So it was like awesome just seeing this.
It looks
thing.
really cool.
Yeah, Tommy Doyle was awesome.
Yeah.
I wish there was more of him.
Speaking of recurring characters, the doctor and the nurse couple, like when the guy from the insane asylum steals our car,
yeah.
they're both in the first one.
Are they?
They are the ones that are getting ready to get in their car when they do the long shot around the
Yes.
house.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
They're there.
Oh yeah.
And they're about to. They're like you think that they're gonna get it by.
Yeah, and then the camera goes
Oh,
down
that's
like
really
the driveway.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
them. And there was two more characters that were in the first one that were in this.
Charles Cyphers. We
I
get
don't know.
he's the Annie's dad. from the
Brackett?
Lee Brackett.
He wasn't. No, I meant the first one, like 2018. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So the
I think
couple.
I think they showed the three kids with the Halloween
Yes.
3 masks
Yeah.
in the first because they run into Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But there were two other like very small characters that were in 2018 that were also in this. I'm like, that's cool.
Okay.
That connection.
Yeah, I felt like they got rid of some of the
the heavy hit, like the side heavy hitters.
yeah, like Charles Cyphers being back was kind of a weird one
Was it
because like
Mary?
he just
yeah.
he just screams about like he's like he killed my daughter and then he gets killed pretty quickly.
I hate
His
it was
line.
so cringy,
His line.
dude.
Yeah.
It's
When
like,
he does
someone's
that,
gotta
he's
get
like,
one-
everybody's entitled to one good scare.
Yeah.
He says that in the first one.
He says in the first.
Yeah.
in like 78, and I was like, I get what you're doing.
What was
but-
going on with the script in this one too?
do
I
you
feel like
mean?
some of the lines were just goofy. Where
So,
I was like, oh, that's corny.
I'm
like the part where they brought like Big John, Little John.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got this knife,
like,
and
"I
then
got
he
this
brought up
knife."
this tiny one. He's like, I got this knife.
It was
It
like
just
and I was
felt out
like,
of place.
Big
I was
John
like,
had
what is going on?
Big John
Like-
had the little knife, and then Little John had the big knife. And
Yeah, it was just like the tone was off for the movie. That's what I felt like my
I
biggest
gotta
takeaway
say,
was.
my biggest takeaway from this is that David Gordon Green is like mostly a comedic director.
Yeah.
Pineapple Express, the Righteous Gemstones and all that. But I think like he was kind of injecting like humor, the dark humor from like those shows into this, and it like kind of didn't. I mean, they used humor in the 2018, but it's only kind of used in like special or certain
Yeah.
areas or whatever. This one was almost like the first chunk of the movie was all like comedy for me.
See, I don't.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
weird.
I
Like,
didn't see
dude,
it.
honestly, you talked about the firefighter
Like
scene,
the-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
Oh
comes.
my God.
He comes at me and Honto were laughing our ass off at it,
I'm so glad to not see this movie with
dude,
you guys.
because he came out of the house not looking like any kind
And
of
then-
a threat,
and
and
then-
then all of a sudden the firefighter like starts up his chainsaw like he's
Yeah.
getting ready to
Oh, I thought
fight
it
him.
was cool. Like,
and I'm
they were
like, you guys are firefighters, like. There's no way if a guy walked out of a burning building with a mask on,
Get this guy a blanket.
Yeah, you wouldn't be fighting him. You'd probably be like,
I think
let
they
me
knew
help
who
you.
it was.
That's
No,
what
I don't think they did.
I think it's supposed to insinuate that they knew who it was.
They
because,
do? Really?
Yeah, because at the end they have the APB on Michael Myers, like they're defending.
I don't know.
But
I
it
wasn't,
came
like,
off as goofy
I'm
because
so surprised. I'm so glad
it came off as goofy because there's the chainsaw. Well,
Yeah.
first let me set up. It's like them. It's like almost like the start of like a beat 'em up video game where it's like ready, fight.
Yeah.
You know, like that,
Yeah.
like Scott Pilgrim basically. You know. But as soon as he starts walking, the guy with the hose like sprays him, and it's just like it's almost like a super soaker. He's like spraying him with the hose, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, we were laughing at this stuff because it was like, and like seriously, he came out and he's like, I was like, okay, he just looks like a victim coming out of a house.
Yeah.
And the guy just like ripped on his. You were a firefighter. What is that called? The saw that he uses.
I cannot remember, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, like
but
a
he just
buzzsaw.
ripped on it.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like here we go, showdown. And I was
Yeah.
like, you're a firefighter.
Finally, I get to
like-
use this against a fire victim.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
like-
cool that they were kind of like getting ready to fight
Yeah.
back. I thought it was cool.
It was
but-
cool, like cool. It just comes off as goofy the way you set it up, where it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
It was such a quick, like it was so over dramatic.
yeah.
For, like-
yeah.
I thought it
I
was
think that's what it is. It's, just,
Okay.
it's like overly dramatic. Like it's still cool, but like at the same time, it's like, come on.
If
See,
you
I
would
thought
have
it would
brought,
be goofy had Michael walked out and they're like,
Yeah,
but it would have if you would have brought out like a dead firefighter body, like he just like impaled it right in front of all of them, then I could understand all their reactions.
Yeah.
But the fact that he just literally walks out by himself and they're like, oh, he looks
Like
he
the-
looks scary.
The first reaction of seeing like a potential victim coming out of a house that's on fire is like, we gotta kill this guy.
I thought. Fun fact, still on topic. There's a change.org petition right now.
Oh, what?
A change.org
Oh, okay.
petition, and they're trying to get that scene removed from the movie, saying that I can't remember exactly how it was worded. but,
Firefighter lives matters.
Well, just like firefighters should not be shown killed in a movie because they save lives. Blah blah blah.
Then you got to remove Backdraft,
Oh,
I guess.
Then
Come
then
on.
take every death out of
Yeah,
every movie because
yeah.
nobody deserves to
Take
be
out
killed,
Yeah.
ladder
you know?
ladder 49, I guess, or what is it? The two towers.
Well, this was because they were killed by.
I know.
yeah,
I'm just
but,
saying,
yeah.
like, if you do that, then you have to do this with the other movies. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, just
I'm not
which-
buying this one.
Yeah, and I don't.
Or
think it
like
needs to go
Return of the
forward
Living
with it.
Dead. I guess paramedics, they get eaten by zombies.
Yeah, they don't
I
deserve
guess.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna go that route, then nobody should die in any movie ever.
Exactly.
You know? So.
We're not.
Music, badass music.
Yes, the music's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said this off camera, but the score, the new edition of the theme,
Yeah.
where it's kind of like
I like that. I like
Candyman
that.
meets Halloween.
I like
think
that.
it's a really
I
cool
like that
theme.
opening credit sequence where it's
Yeah.
just like all the pumpkins
Yeah,
and like the
that
different.
was
I
cool.
like that a lot.
Yeah, I haven't purchased it yet, so but I really enjoyed it in this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say like we're on the negative train. Let's talk about the ending. Chris,
Always go to the ending. I swear.
no.
I feel like
dude, we've been talking for like 30 minutes on this already.
I don't think we
Maybe.
have, but
I don't
every
know.
time we do an episode, you're like, "I'm Chris, I'm Matt, I'm Hunter." You're like, "Let's talk about the end."
Well, this is the one that
Spoiler
like
alert.
I walked.
We're
okay,
almost 30 minutes in.
Are we almost 30 minutes in? Oh, wow.
Chris saw the movie before me, and I asked him, I was like, what'd you think? He's like, I thought the movie was booty. He's like, the ending changes
it ruins
everything.
2018.
So go ahead
It
and
made
go
me
on,
so
go
furious.
on your spiel.
I
Tell us,
get-
wait, say what
I
happens.
will.
Say what happens.
I find entertainment in everything.
Yeah.
I
know.
feel like, yeah, and I feel like I love even the worst of movies because I'm entertained. I watched Resurrection today because it's entertaining. But when you sit there and you have such a solid movie as 2018 and you fix the series and you're like, cool, it's back on track.
Back on track.
And then they make a sequel and they go, yeah, he was never after you, Lori. He was just trying to get to his house. The doctor dropped you off at the house. And that's why he was going after you because he happened to be there, and he was like, I thought that was so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Like you've ruined it. Like you.
Oh, they
fixed it.
do say that.
They absolutely do.
I didn't realize that's like they. So
Yeah.
they made the premise that they
Yeah,
made a
it's
reason for
changed
why
now.
he
Like
goes
he was
after
he
her.
was always going to the house, but just certain events led him to the Strode.
Yeah, the
house.
only reason he went to kill Lori at the end of the 2018 is because the doctor took him there.
Yeah.
that was the only reason. And then they just happened to be there, so he was gonna kill her.
Oh, I didn't. I think.
So they're like, yeah, it was never about you, Lori. It's always about the
That sucks.
house.
Yeah.
It was always about the house.
now
and
it's
that's
gonna-
why it ends with like the house and like you look out his window and like that's supposed to be like the whole
So
revelation.
they're getting at the end is that they're gonna burn the house down in the third one, and he's gonna be in it. But he's not gonna want to leave.
They've already done a
because it's
burning house.
I don't.
thing.
They're not going to do a burning house thing. I don't think they'll do that twice.
And also, I thought they were hinting at the end with Judy Greer staring out that window. I thought they were going Jamie from Halloween 4 and 5.
that would have been
Like
something better than this.
The power of Michael Myers is transferred to Judy Greer.
Well, and that's the other thing that I what I thought that you didn't like when you brought that up to me before I saw it was that I thought you didn't like the fact that they take another supernatural twist. Yeah. That he's not human anymore.
That's what I liked so much about the 2018 is like he's getting his fingers blown off.
Yeah.
He's getting shot in the face,
But they basically set up at the end of this movie that like she says it's like he transcends into something else. So now he's kind of inhuman.
He's
like,
literally
he's supernatural.
He's literally an unstoppable killing.
Yeah, he gets stronger.
I didn't take it that they were saying he was
I think they were.
supernatural.
Oh, because they murk him at the end of that movie.
There's a man who shoots him 6 times in the chest with that revolver.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
And they all like stab him a bunch of times and beat him with
Gets
bats.
stabbed in the back of the neck.
And then he gets up and kills all of them.
Yeah.
So
I need to rewatch it because I didn't catch that whole
Yeah,
story.
But while she's making this monologue, while she's saying this monologue
It's
about
killing
like,
everybody.
that she's like he's transcend beyond humanity. He's like he's something else now.
And it cuts to the Sin City style of like kills. Where It's
Yeah.
like still motion. It's like blood.
I kind of like this, by the way.
It was all right.
I kind of liked when
Like
the way
the
he was like
brawl?
whacking, and then
Yeah.
it would be like the blood would spray.
I thought
out.
it was okay, too.
It looked like 300 style. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but it's also something we haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's
in a
cool.
Michael
I mean, like
in a
it's just
Halloween movie.
it's
so
just
I'm like,
it's just a little off. It just feels off. It's
Yeah.
cool, but it feels off.
And that's how I felt with Judy Greer's death.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like an added-on thing. Like it felt like the movie was over, and they're like, I don't know, let's go throw her in the house, and she looks at the window, and, and then we kill her.
Yeah.
Also, it was really awkward how Judy Greer was like part of this street fighting music man. Like taking part on
G5.
Yeah, G7.
G7.
If you like, but she's like taking part of this like brawl at the end, and then she like goes to the geography didn't make sense. She goes to this like front porch or whatever, and yeah, no, wait, I'm so confused. I'm sorry to cut this.
Let him figure it out. He's got
No,
this.
because the daughter/granddaughter with her boyfriend are in the Myers house, right? Okay.
Yes.
Stick with me. Michael Myers comes out and he is straight up getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
Outside the house of the Myers, whatever.
Two streets over.
Oh, it's 2 streets over.
Yeah, because she runs through a bunch of
she
like
led them.
behind a bunch of houses.
That's weird.
Leads him. Well, it's really weird because he leads them to the street, and they all beat him up, and then she walks away and goes back to sit at the Myers house.
Yeah, that's when they call
the cops again.
Sorry, that's
and the cops show up and they're like, "Why don't you just go home?"
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, that's why
I
had to stop it because they don't really establish that she's going 2 streets over.
Yeah.
Which is really awkward. It's almost like she leads them out, they beat him up basically, and then she just sits on the porch just watching these people die, and then
Oh, okay.
so it
yeah.
just
She
it just
walks
felt
back
it felt
to the house,
so weird.
and that's when he gets back up and kills everybody.
Yeah, so it just felt weird for me. Like,
So another negative. Okay, so like the park scene where they all go.
Yeah.
Like there were scenes where I just wasn't really like feeling anything.
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of
Yeah.
like they set up the scene and like, oh man, I was just 2018. Like every intense scene in
That's like-
there was intense, and I felt like this was kind of like.
but that's like the comic where the girl's like, I'm a ace shot with this Desert Eagle, and then she ends up like
Yeah.
shooting herself.
That was dumb. And that's what I
Yeah.
mean. There's humor like
That's
put
like-
in there
yeah.
where I was like, you guys were so serious and straight laced in that first one.
Yeah.
That you get to the second one and now there's like all this weird like eastbound and down humor.
That's what I mean.
Where I'm like, it's dark and it's like supposed to be for laughs and it's really weird.
Okay.
But like I hate that they killed that couple off so quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they killed Marion.
Yeah, Marion.
The nurse.
the nurse who has a cooler death than H2O.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like kind of wasted. Then they have what's the little girl from the original?
Oh,
that is
Lindsay?
grown up now.
Or not
Lindsay.
Is it Lindsay?
I think it's Lindsay.
Yeah.
Kind of like she's kind of a waste.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I'm exhausted, so go get him.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Why? I don't know why she was like under the bridge, like she got hurt, and I was like, oh, I didn't think you inflicted any damage.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think she was actually ever.
I think you're just like muddy, and that's it.
Yeah, I think she ducked. I think she got kind of thrown around by Michael Myers because she was using the rocks in the pillowcase.
Oh yeah,
And
which I thought that was cool. I did like that.
It was cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked that.
I did
a
like
lot.
that.
Um,
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of like an uninspired movie.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like coming out of it. Like I was like, I feel like the 2018 one had so much to say.
Yeah.
And then seeing this one, it's like, and seeing this one and knowing there's a third one to come, it just felt like a waste of time.
I will say
Like, that sounds mean.
I'm still really excited about this third movie.
Oh, I am too. I
I'm,
am
like,
too.
really
Yeah.
stoked.
I guarantee you they'll do something better in the
I hope
third
so.
movie. But I bet you it was in their contract to do 3, and they're like, all right, we'll just do a filler. And it was a filler movie.
It felt like it was a filler.
Outside of Judy Greer dying in this, you could have gotten rid of this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the only pivotal thing that happened in this entire movie,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the thing. Like, I know we're seeing a lot of negatives about this movie.
Yeah.
But it's not horrible. It's just
Oh,
okay.
yeah, there's definitely worse entries in this franchise.
Yeah.
I will probably watch this again, to be honest.
And I think that's what hurts it too. Is seeing it at the drive-in.
I think
love going to
it
drive-in.
definitely impacts viewings, especially
Yes.
first time viewings. Because I felt the same way about
Yeah.
2018, where I liked it a lot, but I felt like I was missing certain things.
Yeah, like some scenes are darker to see.
Yeah.
You don't get the full audio experience.
I just felt like it was like watching Michael Phelps swim in the Olympics and get gold, and you're like, wow, he's really fast. And then he does another race, and he's like dog paddling, and I'm like,
This is the
and
You're
I'm
better
like,
than that.
I was like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, you've
Yeah.
done better than this. Why are you doing that?
I thought you were going to say that Michael Phelps swam, and they're like, and following up, Matt.
Yeah, and then no, actually, that would have been it. It
Yeah.
would be me swimming, who's like holding my nose when he jumps in the water.
Matthew
like,
Myers.
hey guys,
So yeah, it's
don't
got
judge me. It's my first time.
It's got positives and negatives
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. That's why I stayed straight down the middle for me.
Yeah.
It's because like there's an equal amount of like good and bad, and the fact that this is not nearly the worst in the franchise.
No,
And,
no,
yeah.
no.
I think I just expected more.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got 2018.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really, really like 2018. That's what I'm saying at the end. That's my end statement, is that these movies, it's a miracle if these movies are as good as 2018. Like, usually they're just like more slasher. I mean, we love slasher films, and
Yeah.
I'm not knocking on them, but I know they're to a degree they're garbage.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of them, like the sequels we get, they're just slasher garbage,
Yeah.
and that's fun.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy them.
Yeah.
But for them to be as good as they are in 2018 and have something to say too on top of it, that's great. Candyman was that way.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed Candyman because I thought it had something to say.
Yeah.
But it just, I felt like this one was just kind of like I said, it felt like it was kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, and it felt like a middle picture. Like, I'm not mad. I feel like a father. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll watch it again.
I'll watch it again. I'll probably watch it a couple more times.
Yeah, I'll probably watch
You
it
ruined
again.
your beautiful franchise.
Yeah.
It has rewatch value. It had some really cool scenes in there. I hope they fix the whole, like, he was always after the house.
I
It was never about
know.
Lori.
Yeah.
It was
I hope
perfect the way it was.
I hope it's just like they're just totally wrong about this assumption that they're making at this
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
because then there's no point in having Jamie Lee Curtis in the next one.
But
it's not about her.
We talked about this earlier on about how the problem with, especially the Michael Myers sequel, is like it's all about his ambiguity.
Yeah.
Why
I
is
loved
he
it.
doing what he's doing? And then once you start adding sequels onto it, you can't just keep saying that same thing over and over. You have to
Yeah.
come up with, oh, actually, it's his sister.
Yeah.
Or it was the house the whole time.
Yeah.
You have to come up with a reason. Otherwise, it's like a pointless story.
Yeah.
But
And
they were fine
just
with
basically
it.
dig themselves a hole as soon as they make a sequel. They're like, let's make a sequel to it. And it's like they're already in the hole.
But they
because
didn't
have
have
do
to
something.
add it. No, they didn't, because they were like, because in the last one in 2018 they fix it and they're like, oh yeah, they were never brother and sister.
Yeah.
He's just after her because he's just psychotic.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't need a reason.
It was like the one
Yeah.
that got
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
mentality or
And
whatever.
then
But-
you hate the whole Rob Zombie explaining too much. This is what it's doing. Like,
Yeah.
no, just have.
Well, that's
them-
what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that
Why
like, you
is-
have to do something with
Yeah.
the sequel
Don't-
because otherwise it's the same movie again. So like, what would they have done with this movie?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in Halloween Ends, and I hope they don't do it, but they're going to explain why he's got so much power. And it's just like, we don't need to know
The guy
this.
with the
Well-
the thorn tattattoo and the black hat.
Yeah,
I know.
Well,
and
they
then Paul Rudd
kind
shows
of-
up, I got my marbles.
They're kind of
Mikey
hinting
likes
at it.
beanies.
Yeah.
They're kind of hinting at it with this because they brought up the fact that he was the boogeyman several times in this one.
Yeah.
So they made it sound like he was actually a legit monster in this.
know.
Like, oh no, he's the boogeyman.
They
Like
need-
it wasn't like they were basically saying that like he's inhuman at this point, and that's what I got walking away.
They
from the
need
movie.
to go back to the roots of him kind of being the shape and in the background of scenes, because I feel like they did not do that this time around.
I'll agree with you on that.
It was just
Yeah.
like, oh, there he is, like in the park
Yeah.
where it's like he's just standing there. But they got to do where it's like scenes are happening, conversations are happening, you just see him like walking around or something. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Christmas Halloween movie.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's fine, but I don't know. Like, the more I think about it, like, I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween the other day. That was better than I remembered.
Oh, really?
And I don't know. It's just weird. I feel like each of the Halloweens have, like, certain things you like about them. Like, the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 was cool because it did something different.
Yeah.
So I don't want to knock it for that, for trying something new. And then this one, they tried something different. It just didn't happen to work. I don't know.
Dude, honestly, Halloween's a one story. It's a one story movie, and that's it.
I
and
think
they
so.
they keep trying to make more of them.
Yeah. I think
and it's
the
just a
ending to the
one-story
first movie is pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they just keep trying to do these like current adventures of Michael Myers,
Yeah.
you know, and they just keep trying to milk it. And but it's also, I mean, I'm not knocking them because I watch these movies. I
I was
love
going to
these
say,
movies.
no one's forcing us to see them.
Yeah, Friday 13th are my favorite, like probably my favorite series of movies, and those are probably like the biggest like waste of time. But the same way, you know, where it's just like, yeah, it's just another sequel.
Yeah. But they keep making them. We'll keep seeing them.
Yeah.
If I have to know one positive note, and we kind of mentioned it earlier, the score is up
Yes.
there. I think Carpenter is, in the past 5 years, he has like made a tremendous comeback. I think he's made some of the best music he's made in
Working
his
with
career.
his son and his godson. I
Godson,
believe.
yeah.
God, I wish he would just like come back and direct a movie though.
I'm okay. You know what?
Yeah.
If music is going to be his
Music,
thing,
I'm like
he's
music.
doing great with it.
I'm liking it too, but I kind of want to see him
Yeah, I
go
just wanna
off.
see-
I
yeah,
want
I
to
just-
see him go off on a high note with like one final like independent movie.
Yeah, but if he makes it and it's bad, you're like, you should have made another movie.
Yeah.
And then,
Why'd you
yeah.
come back?
Yeah,
you
that's
were
true.
fine. The ward was great.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Okay.
So yeah, I'm just happy that we're getting like solid music from him. At least he's being like productive. Because I feel
Yeah.
like, I know he didn't, but I felt like he took like 15 years off and did nothing in the film industry,
Yeah.
which I know is not true. He did all his executive producing credits
Yeah.
on The Fog. But yeah, so not a horrible movie. I will rewatch it. I'm just kind of bummed. That's
Yeah.
all. So awesome mask though. Mask looks good.
This is cool.
So
Yeah, Mask was cool.
All right.
He looks good.
yeah.
He looks
Yeah.
good for his age.
He looks good for his age.
And the guy who plays him is solid.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw him at Horror Hound. And
Yeah,
he's great.
and he seemed like a legit guy.
Seems like a cool guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick Castle was in this again as
I
Michael
saw
Myers.
that.
saw
I
that
don't
on
know
the
what
credits.
scenes.
nice.
I don't know either. I have to look
Yeah.
that up, but he was back.
So that is 2021's Halloween Kills. I gave it a 65. Honto, would you give
50.
it? Matt?
35, 40%.
Okay.
Back and forth on it. So
Okay,
I haven't
fair
like
enough.
final decision.
So I don't want to say we all recommend it because that is very scattered. It's like 1408. We randomly have movies that we're that different on.
Can I
Yeah.
say
What do you got? What do you got?
one sentence summary?
Yeah.
Halloween Kills, more like hospital bills.
Oh,
Hospital bills.
Right?
Hospital Bills.
Because it took place in a hospital and there's a lot of people injured. And,
okay.
Dude, that's what I meant by at the end of the movie when the cops show up in front of the Michaels house. I'm surprised that the cops aren't just like, just go home.
dude,
Like you've already haven't we already done this evening?
he killed
several
so
times.
many people in this movie and hurt so many people. Everyone is financially ruined at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that affects the town of Haddonfield and Halloween ends.
And that's what I do like because now the town is more of a character. I will
Yeah.
say that is cool. I like it's not just like
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a tad bit too much, but I like.
But it's still cool that it's-
I like seeing towns.
I love the whole like we're
Well,
not going to be terrorized anymore. I thought that was really cool.
I'm
Which
with
still
you
plays
on that.
it still plays with the 2018 theme of like the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
it's people, but it's just a larger group this
Yeah.
time.
And I'm with you on that, but he kills everybody in the town that we
Pretty
like
much.
basically we see in this movie.
Yeah, everyone.
Anybody that was a town's character that got to talk died.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So
They
it's
at,
like
least, they at least did this better than New Beginning, where they were focusing entirely on the town of Crystal Lake.
A New Beginning. The fifth one?
Yeah, New Beginning.
What do you mean they're focusing on the town?
There's
okay.
so many townspeople in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Where
right.
it's like we're just cutting back and forth to each person. At least like
That's
when
right.
they showed people in this movie, it kind of had me.
That's actually kind
Yeah.
of similar because Friday the 13th 5 is very like, we go to these people and kill them. We go to
Yeah.
these people. This was kind of the
It
same
does it, but it
formula.
kind of means something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird recommendation from us. Some of us kind of liked it. We'll probably watch it again, and we'll continue to see them as long as they come out in theaters. If they make 15 more, we'll probably see all 15. Yeah. So, but thank you so much for listening and or viewing this. If you have any recommendations, you can hit us up on Facebook or you can email us at
cinemacoolpodcast@gmail.com.
And as always, thank you for listening. We love doing this. We hope you love listening to it. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
Happy Halloween. See you next time.